Midterm elections are now 1 month away, and I'm just back from Atlanta, Georgia, where I sat down for an exclusive interview with Herschel Walker, the former football star, now locked in a bitter political fight that could determine which party controls the Senate. He is a name that everyone in the Peach State knows, a Heisman Trophy winner at the University of Georgia who went on to an all-pro NFL career. After football, he went into business and now politics, running as a Republican with the backing of his longtime personal friend, former President Trump. Walker hopes to unseat Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock, and polls show he's within striking distance of the Democrat. But our conversation comes with Walker on the hot seat, a pro-life candidate forced to respond to allegations that he paid for the cost of a woman to have an abortion, with his own son now speaking out publicly against him. Republicans are rallying around Walker, with two prominent senators, Rick Scott and Tom Cotton, attending an event today to show their support. Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock will meet in their only scheduled debate this Friday, but not before I sat down with this candidate in his first network interview since the explosive allegations came to light.
If I was training, I'm like...
Herschel Walker, who's long been known for his strength, speed, and agility.
Touchdown, Minnesota.
Is now training for perhaps the most grueling competition of his life.
What's more difficult when you're training for a debate prep or for a championship game?
Debate is hard.
Yeah.
The only reason it's hard because you never know what direction they're going to go in.
Right, that's true.
But
on a football field, you don't either.
Well, football field, you got another person. It doesn't matter where you go, I got to get him out of the way. Whereas in debate, you got to think, wait a minute, is he going to go over there? Is he going to go over here? Is he going to try to get me a gotcha? So your mind is always thinking.
This Friday, Walker will face off against incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock in the first and only scheduled debate between the two.
There's going to be a debate, and I told him to quit running from me. Quit running, because I will catch you.
The stakes in Georgia are incredibly high. This Senate race could potentially tip the balance of the Senate, and an early October surprise has been keeping Walker in the headlines.
Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker.
Republican Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker.
An explosive report by the Daily Beast and later the New York Times alleges Walker paid for the cost of an abortion for an ex-girlfriend back in 2009. According to those accounts, she says Walker encouraged her to get a second abortion 2 years later, but she refused and now has a 10-year-old son with Walker. ABC News has not independently confirmed the reports.
I know initially last week you were saying you weren't even sure who the woman was. But
Which is true.
But at this point, you now know who she is.
Yes.
Did you ever have a conversation with this woman at any time about an abortion?
No.
Did you ever, to your knowledge, give money to pay for the cost of an abortion?
No.
Is she lying?
Yes, she's lying. Yeah, she's lying. Yes, she's lying.
And just to be absolutely clear, I know in the past you have said sometimes that there are things you don't remember. In this situation...
Well, that was before, that was like, what, 20 years ago? Yes.
So in this current situation, yes. Are you saying a flat-out denial to any knowledge of an abortion, or is it possible it happened and you don't remember?
Flat-out denial, lie. Lie. And you know what's sad about it? He had, what was it, a receipt and had a check and had all that. He hadn't shown anything. He hadn't shown me saying something about an abortion, and that's what's terrible.
This same woman says that you have a 10-year-old son who you've only seen 3 times. Is that true?
Well, that's not true. I've seen him a little bit more than that. But that's one of the things I don't get into because they make it difficult for me to see him. And that's one thing I say I won't do. When he's young, I'm not going to sit there and make his life miserable like this.
We met up with the father of 4 at an Atlanta gym.
I'm not a politician. Never read about all this stuff, and all I know is what I'm supposed to do. And what I'm supposed to do is go out and represent the Georgia people.
Many Republicans in Washington are standing firmly behind the 60-year-old in the wake of the controversy, applauding his outspoken stance against abortions.
Tell me about your position on abortion.
I'm pro-life. I believe in life. I'm a Christian. I believe in life.
No exceptions.
Well, I believe in the Georgia heartbeat bill. You know, that has exceptions in it because that's from the people. That's from the people. But for me, I believe in life.
In the case of incest or rape, or the mother's life is at stake if she brings the pregnancy to full term?
The Georgia heartbeat bill accounts for all that. And that's what I said. It's in a democratic process of the people. And that's what I've said. I said, guys, I believe in life. I'm a Christian.
His oldest son, whose name is Christian, says his dad is a liar.
I was silent lie after lie after lie.
A conservative influencer with a large presence on social media says every member of Walker's family had begged him not to run in the first place.
Christian says, though, that you're an absent father. Do you disagree?
Oh, I love Christian, and that's what's so funny. I love Christian, and I've always will love Christian.
But I don't think anybody's questioning your love for your son.
Well, they know I've been with my son through everything, and that's what I'm saying. You know, Christian was someone that was in the same area where I was at, so I was with him every minute of the day that I could be.
There was an interview you did last year with Diamond and Silk when you said, as far as talking about and being very critical of black fathers being absent, and you said, you know, it may be that you have to leave the mother, but don't leave the child.
Right.
Do you feel that you have been there for all four of your children?
Yes, I have. If they needed me, they know to call. I never get in a fight with their mom and make it tough on them.
Another potential obstacle on the road to victory is Walker's turbulent past, as allegations of violence or threats by 3 women, including his ex-wife Cindy, resurface.
With regard to Christian, he talked about the atrocities against his mother, your ex-wife Cindy, but you have no violent tendencies at this point.
Never have with Christian or anyone else, and that's what's so sad. Never have.
Our Bob Woodruff spoke to both Cindy and Herschel back in 2008.
He got a gun, and he put it to my temple.
Put the gun right to your temple? Mm-hmm. What did he say?
I'm gonna blow your effing brains out.
Do you not remember something like that because you think that was another altar, or do you want to get out of having to talk about it?
No. If I can, you know, I'm talking about everything else. If I can remember, I'd talk about it.
Walker also opened up about his past struggle with dissociative identity disorder, and now says he's symptom-free.
For the people who are concerned about your mental health, obviously you've been very public and talked about your dissociative identity disorder. Do you still have that?
No, well, you're always going to have, everyone has a mental challenge. Right now, you know, do people know about redemption? Do people know about overcoming? You know, I've overcame so much in life. That's the reason I'm the best senator out there, because I know how to get up, and I don't sit there wallowing, and I take responsibility for who I am.
Do you still have any symptoms of it?
No. You don't have to have symptoms, and I think that's the problem people have. You know, and they don't understand it. I have helped so many people because people have demonized mental health, and I've always been a champion for it. I think that's the problem. People have demonized mental health. People have challenges that they don't think they can get help from, so they hide it. And they don't need to hide it. I let them know that you don't need to hide it. You can go get help. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Early on in Walker's campaign, he received the backing from former President Donald Trump, a man he calls a family friend. The two have a relationship that spans several decades.
Herschel Walker has got everything, and we love Herschel. Come up, Herschel.
You've said that Donald Trump is a mentor for you. In what way?
Well, I've known Donald 40-something years, not just as no politician. I didn't know him as a politician. I knew him as a man. I knew him as a father, as a businessman. So, you know, I looked at what he was doing, and I said, oh, I can do that.
Let me hear Herschel Walker. Come on. Get it up.
Why'd you decide to run?
I think anyone that's been blessed in America and sees what's going on and don't try to stand up and speak truth don't need to be in this country. Because right now this country is hurting. And when God has blessed you, you got to get back and bless others.
Coming from humble beginnings, Walker grew up in the small town of Wrightsville, Georgia. One of 7 in a Christian household, he describes his childhood as tough, a chubby kid with a stutter and no friends. But he says he took setbacks and turned them into success.
I've come from some tough times. I grew up with nothing. You know, I know how it is to be poor. I grew up this stuttering little fat kid. But God picked me out of this little town in middle Georgia. I've been all over the world. I've met people with more money than I've ever seen in my whole entire life. But one thing I don't like, when I see my family, and I call all of America my family, when I see them hurted, see them fighting, divided, and it's coming from Washington. It's coming from our leaders.
In high school, Walker excelled in football, basketball, and track, later becoming a star football player at the University of Georgia.
There goes Herschel! There goes Herschel!
The star running back gained widespread fame after winning the Heisman Trophy in 1982.
And Walker bowls his way over for a Vikings touchdown.
He later played for multiple NFL teams, most notably the Dallas Cowboys, where he set the foundation for the Cowboys dynasty, but was traded before they won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Walker transitioned from football to food distribution, using his entrepreneurial spirit to start his own business. But now he says he wants to be a servant of the people.
My name is Herschel Walker, and I'm running for the United States Senate. When was the last time I was in the athletic world? What, 30-some years ago? Well, my impact as a senator be much better than my impact as an athlete.
4 weeks away from the election, the latest polls indicate Warnock leads this razor-thin race by just 2 points. This afternoon, Senators Rick Scott and Tom Cotton attended an event to show their support for the Senate hopeful.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
But some of Walker's credentials and qualifications have been called into question, including claims that he graduated at the top of his class, that he trained with the FBI, and the overall success of his business.
You don't have the experience in politics. What would you point to for people to say, you can trust me, you can elect me as your next senator because?
Well, you can trust me because I've shown it time and time again. I have proven myself time and time again through my business experience. They lied. I've proven myself throughout the athletic world. You know what? I've competed on the highest level in everything I've ever done. On the highest level on everything I've ever done. You can't lie your way through that. You have to go out and you have to prove it through hard work. And that's what I've done.
You're really passionate about this.
I am. I told everyone, I'm not running because I want to be a senator. I'm running because I'm sick and tired. People are dying. People can't eat because of the people in Washington, what they're doing to people. And then they lie. This is not a new normal. Let's get it straight. This is not a new normal.
The emotion that you're feeling, where's that coming from?
Well, that comes from me being a competitor. I work. And they ask me, if I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this.
Have you ever seen me play, I can play. Have you ever seen me fight, I can fight. No matter how hard they come, how hard I can fight. Boom!
The whole story is, I'm an honest guy. And I do as I say, and I say as I do. I've always done that in my life. That's the reason I'm who I am. That's where I'm at today. And as I said early on, and I hope you've been in sports know this, you can't lie your way to the top. You can only get so far and you get knocked down. You can't lie your way to the top.
We reached out to the accuser and to Walker's son, Christian. Both declined to comment for now.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.